Bora, welcome to another episode of This is Sevens. Today we're looking at the one tip that helped my drop kick in so much.
And the doctor is in the house.
If you're new to rugby sevens, kickoffs are so important. They used to start the game with kickoffs and convert tries for extra points. So if you can master these, you can dominate possession and the scoreboard. So this tip is tied in with one of the biggest mistakes that you see with drop kicking, and it's being able to get the correct alignment. When it comes to drop kicking, the biggest variance we see is in a player's setup. So either with their body angle or the direction in which they're holding the ball, and this makes it very difficult to kick it straight. I was shown this one tip about 10 or 12 years ago, and it really helped me with my alignment. It's essentially using the rugby ball to get your body in a consistent position every time you set up. Also know which direction you need to direct your follow through. So if we look at the rugby ball, there's the two crosshead seams. This is going to be our direction and where our follow through goes. And then there's adjacent panels, the red and the blue here, and that's going to be where our body position is. So it opens up your body at a bit of a 45-degree angle. For this example, I'm actually kicking straight towards the camera. So this seam is where I want to strike the ball and my foot and my follow through to go to. These two red adjacent panels, that's why I'm then going to turn my body so I'm on a 45-degree angle. This really opens up our hip so we can have a full swing into the ball. So if I just show you that again straight on, so we've got our seam, this is everything straight, follow through and striking action. We're then going to turn adjacent to the panels, keeping the ball where they are. So every time I look down, the seam is going that way and at a 45-degree is my body. And this 45-degree angle, rather than being dead straight, is what allows us to open our hip so we can get a full leg swing, use all our power. One of the biggest benefits of using this technique is that once you've spent the time lining the seam up, you then only need to concentrate on your contact point of the ball because everything is already done. This stops you looking up, changing your body position, which can really throw off your kick. I'm going to warm up quickly and then get into some kicks. Very quickly, there's certain things you love to see. One of the things I love about Hong Kong, this football game going behind me, I'd say the average age is at least 60, and they're here every Wednesday having a kickabout for a few hours, staying active. Awesome to see. So I'm using a channel between two football pitches. I'd say it's about 5 meters wide. You can use however wide you want to, but it's a great way of getting feedback of how straight you're striking it. When I'm warming up, I always like to do some single leg strikes without any run up, just to really get into that technique. So now I'm warmed up, I'm going to take a few more steps, still trying to keep it between these tram lines. Snuck in on the right there. Couldn't have hit that one any straighter. I'd be quite interested to watch that one back. It went dead straight, but I'm pretty sure I lost it a little bit on the drops. Bit of fortune there. So that just hit the left tram line. This drill's really good for feedback, so I reckon I probably dropped the ball a little bit too close to my standing leg, so I hit it closer to the inside of my foot rather than on the knuckle of the foot. So this is where it's really useful. Probably overcompensated that one. I dropped it quite wide, which led to a slice in action. much better, far more control on the drop. Another way to advance this drill is to put a square of cones within the tram lines. You can kick it from different distances, and then you have to not only kick it straight, but alter the power each time as well. For these closer distances, I like to think of these little dinked kickoffs. So your aim is to put into the space between the receiving team, so your chaser runs on, ideally without breaking stride, and catches it just on the other side of the 10-meter line. I don't know if you can tell or hear in the audio, but the wind has just really picked up. It's coming straight across. This is the other advantage of using this direction technique. When you need to account for something like the wind, the difference is just aiming the ball slightly different. So for me, I'm going to go slightly to the right, knowing that the wind's going to bring the ball a little bit. Just snuck in on that one. Not the best strike, just hit the corner. Bit too lazy a strike, I think I looked up as well. Gonna have another go at that one. Much better strike on that one. So I've come to the centre of the pitch just to show you some kickoffs, and once you get that set up correctly, it doesn't matter if you're kicking right or left or straight down the middle, all you then have to do is just point the ball in that direction, and the rest of your setup is going to be exactly the same. So that's in the centre. Now if we want to kick off to the right, and again to the left, all it is about is getting that seam pointing where you want it to go, your body at 45 degrees, and then you can just stick to exactly the same technique. It's the most consistent way to do it. And it's as easy as that, getting the technique sorted, and then it's just pointing the seam wherever you want it to go. It'll keep your kickoff so much more consistent, and then it's just about time and practice and getting reps into it. The same technique works for getting your direction when you're going for a conversion after a try in sevens. I know they're football posts, but just imagine some rugby posts. Right, just need to go find that. Hopefully that made sense, but if you have any questions, please drop them in a comment below. Anyway, let's get home in the kitchen, do some cooking. So back to the flat, gonna do some cooking. Today we're making a katsu curry. For the chicken katsu curry, we've got 2 chicken breasts, 2 carrots, an onion, thumb-sized piece of ginger, 5 garlic cloves, coconut milk, cumin, turmeric, a bit of honey, some breadcrumbs and some plain flour. To start with, we're going to dice the carrots, onions and garlic to get the sauce going with some ginger. And then we end up with it all a pretty similar size. I'm going to dice the onion up as well. With the 5 garlic cloves, we're literally just going to slice them. So for the ginger, we're just going to get a small spoon, and it's the easiest way to peel the skin off. Nice and easy. All the ingredients are chopped. We're now going to add them to the pan for about 20 minutes. We're going in with some salt, put some turmeric, some cumin, some coconut milk, and a little bit of honey. While the sauce is cooking away, we're going to get to work on the chicken. I've got quite thin chicken breasts. If you have fatter ones, and you can cut them in half to make it quicker to cook. We're going to be doing them in the air fryer, and they're going to basically have flour into egg wash into breadcrumbs, and then repeat the process: flour, egg wash, breadcrumbs, hopefully get them nice and crispy. So I did crack these in there, forgot to press record. Far more in that one little packet than I thought there was going to be. This is just panko breadcrumbs, should be lovely. So just pre-warming for a couple of minutes to 200. So this is set to 200 again. They're going to go in for about 17, 18 minutes. So this has been going for about 20 minutes. Everything's nice and soft, so ready to get blended. Do this in 2 batches. Although I've definitely done a little bit too much turmeric. Gonna have some of these greens, been eating a lot since coming to Hong Kong. That's quite similar to pak choi, I don't actually know what the proper name for it is, with some rice. Just gonna fry these greens and they're gonna wilt. There we have it, chicken katsu curry cooked in the air fry. If you have any questions about any part of the video, drop them in a comment below. Give us a like, give us a follow. Diolch yn fawr for watching.